So let's talk about debt. Everybody wants debt, right, Wendy?
Nobody wants debt. Not bad
But
debt, anyway.
yeah, I know, right? I mean, we all seem to have it, though. At least a large majority of us. The vast majority of the population out there owes about, roughly about $6,000, $7,000 in credit card debt. Some of you probably, man, I wish I only owed that. But there is such a good a thing as good debt and bad debt. Contrary to what the gurus say out there. If you're buying something that is an asset, that creates an income stream like rental properties, things like that, or a business or something like that. That's good debt, in my opinion, and I think you would agree, right, Wendy?
I agree. Yep.
Because you're cash flowing, right? So that counts as a true asset. Whereas the other stuff that's out there, even your own home, because it's not really creating an asset, or excuse me, an income stream. Um, we're primarily talking about credit cards, things like that, depreciating assets and whatnot. Your car is a debt because it's not going up in value; it's going down in value. Now that's a little change over the last few years, but traditionally and typically, your car is going to go down in value. So, what's the big deal? I mean, I remember. I don't know if you experienced this, Wendy, back in college. Um, the Discover company would go to the college campus. I think they all do it. And, you get a free T-shirt or free 2 liter to sign up for, a credit card. And I'm thinking, wow, they're going to give me $1,000 credit limit. I was like 18, 19 at the time. And it was only like $15 a month. I can afford $15, right? That's
Yeah, I didn't go to college out of high school, so I went to adult learning college online. But where it got me, my first credit card was a store credit card because I always shopped at the Limited, and they gave me a $1,200 credit limit. And guess what? I spent $1,200.
I was going to say, how quickly did that go? But don't worry, because it's only $15 a month, right? Forever. So
yeah, I think I paid it off for 3 years.
So. Yeah, I mean, and that's how you fall into it. And the next thing you know, you go into the next thing and the next thing. And that's why one of the things on financial planning, we talk about having an emergency fund and things like that. But, so you can avoid running to your credit card, because what happens is you spend something on your credit card for an emergency, and then all of a sudden something else comes up before that is paid off. And it's just, it's a great tool. Don't get me wrong, but you've got to be extremely disciplined, and you've got to have the financial means to make sure you're paying it off. Well, unfortunately, you look at what's going on now, and we're going to go into the reasons why it's bad. But, one of the big things, you want to get out of debt now. If you do have debt, don't beat yourself up. Most Americans do, but you want to get out of it as quickly as possible, especially now because of what's going on in the economy. I just had a notification. Another friend of mine lost their job. I mean, I literally just found out before we hopped on this video, because the economy, like it, love it, hate it, or whatever you want to read, it's slowing down. And a lot of places are laying off and things like that. And maybe, one of the viewers are out there, you've had an experience like that, or somebody. But that's the last place you want to be in, is debt, when you have lost a job, that income stream, right? Mm-hmm. So, the things about having debt, I mean, and there's 5 main areas. Number one, I'm a Christian, you're a Christian, right? You look at the biblical wisdom of it. Proverbs 22:7, it talks about the lender, it causes slavery, right? Right. The rich rule of the poor, and the borrower's servant to the lender. Mm-hmm. And there's some truth to that. But why would debt make you a slave? Why would you say that, Wendy? I mean, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, well, my opinion, one, is it becomes, when you have money coming in, right now, it's something that your money's already tied to, that you've mm-hmm. spent in the past, right, that you now have mm-hmm. to make up for. So it's interrupting your future. I think it affects your how willing you are to give, right? Mm-hmm. How willingly you give is what I was trying to say. And you're bound to them, right? Like, if you don't pay that debt, you're in trouble. You can be sued. They can take property from you. Like, there's so many negative consequences.
Burnish your wages, yeah. All of the above. And that's exactly right. I mean, you're talking about, you're working, you get your paycheck. Well, some of it's already gone. because you've got to pay those debts, right? You got to pay that debt, that money, like you said, that you've already spent.